Hello and welcome into Red Wilson Field here in Yarmouth, Massachusetts. A picture-perfect Saturday night here on the Cape with partly cloudy skies and temperatures in the mid-60s. Tonight's matchup will feature the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox playing host to the Harwich Mariners. This is the second matchup of 6 between the two squads this season, the first one being a 2-1 win for the Mariners at White House Field. Hi everybody and welcome into the broadcast booth. My name is Devin Dobek and I am joined as always by my partner Tim Foley. Tim, YD was able to pick up win number 1 on a Mike Bovey walk-off last night. They are a team that has not played terrible this season but have had trouble down the stretch. Do you think last night's walk-off is the start of something big for them?
I mean, I think certainly so. When you think about the way that these seasons go for a summer ball team, it can take just one game to really vitalize a group and have everybody bond and come together. And with a bond such as one that can be forged after a walk-off win, as they were able to pull off last night, you never know what a team's attitude is going to be the next time out. I could certainly see that being an early turning point in the season here for YD.
As for the Mariners, they end the homestand with a 4-1 loss to the Bourne Braves. They go 2-3 in that span. They only had 3 hits and 1 run in the loss. What do you expect from them here tonight as they look to bounce back?
Well, they're definitely going to want to get the bats going again here tonight. Last night it was fine pitching-wise. You give up the 4 runs, but you're not going to win a game just scoring 1. And so you can't look at the pitching before looking at the hitting. And so for Harwich, they have a nice lineup here today to take a look at it in a moment. And I think this is a lineup that Coach Engler's confident is going to be able to get going at the plate here this afternoon.
Mariners go with Noah Dean of Old Dominion, who pitched on opening day in the 9-2 win versus Falmouth, as the Red Sox select Jared Lyons of George Mason. Mariners come in at 3-2, the YD Red Sox at 1-3-1. Mariners starting lineup looks like this, leading off the shortstop, Nick Goodwin batting second, the catcher Tatum Levins, batting third, the center fielder Kyle Teal, batting fourth, the designated hitter Brock Wilkin. Batting fifth, the first baseman Joe Vitrano back in the lineup, batting sixth, the right fielder Jake Geloff, batting seventh in left, Gino Groover III, batting eighth at third base Kenny Lavari, and batting ninth, the second baseman Danny Corona. Excited for a good one here. Mariners in their road blues with red lettering and a white trim, gray pants with that, and navy socks for those that wish to express that. YD Red Sox in their home whites, white on white with red socks and red caps. The Sox logo is depicted on the top left of the uniforms. And Jared Lyons, as we mentioned, just graduated from George Mason, a Patriot there. He's already pitched once this season against Orleans. He went 3 innings, did not allow a hit or a run, but he did walk 2 and punched out 4.
Yeah, and he's really a fastball-heavy guy, so I think that's what we can expect from him here today, going off against this Mariners lineup.
Nick Goodwin will climb in. Had one of the 3 hits, I believe, to start the ball game yesterday, and then advanced the second on an error.
Yeah, he's just been on a tear to open up the season. We said it yesterday. We say it again today because he's on a 5-game hitting streak across the 5 games that the Mariners have played so far.
Lions set to get this ball game underway, and at 4:58, ball 1 is in there, up and in. Lions 6'0", 208 pounds from Springfield, Virginia. As this pitch is fouled off and count even up at 1. Lions just graduated with a degree in rehabilitation science, Started his career as a two-way player, appearing in 46 games with 30 starts on the mound. He's now kind of settled into a pitcher, PO rather. 2-1 to Goodwin, Mariner shortstop, who has been on a tear, as Tim mentioned. Looking to extend that to 6 here today. Foul tips that one into the mitt, and it's 2-2. Although a beautiful night here in Yarmouth, definitely a little windy, so you'll hear a little bit of fluttering throughout the broadcast. We apologize for that. The 2-2 pitch. That one upstairs at the eyes, and it's a full count.
Definitely the windiest conditions we've faced all season long, and this is really going to favor lefties. It is just going to pull everything out toward right field here today.
Definitely miss Al Graber press box right now. Payoff pitch. That is upstairs, and Nick Goodwin will jog down to first base with a leadoff walk.
It's now 6 straight games in which he's been able to get on base safely, and he just continues to perform excellently for the Mariners in this leadoff spot. It's the 3rd straight game where he's been able to get on in the first at-bat of the game for the Mariners.
That brings up Tatum Levens back into lineup. Did not play yesterday. Kyle Teal was behind the plate. He's out in center field now. Levens a Pitt Panther and returning Mariner. First pitch to him. Breaking ball at the bottom of the zone for strike 1.
Tell you what, Devin, Mariners have not homered since their last road game on Chatham last Monday. I have a feeling it's going to change today. With the field conditions, the wind, the way that the field plays. It's only 352 to dead center.
Yeah, or rather a short porch as Levens grounds this one over to first base. Connor goes to second for 1, or excuse me, just tags the bag at first, and there's 1 away. Thought about going for 2, but a speedy runner and Nick Goodwin able to get in there. They'll take the 1, and now runner in scoring position for Kyle Teal.
I think the ball sort of ate up Caden Connor as well over at first base. Took him an extra second to really make sure he had it in his grasp. And so plenty of time, as you put it, for Goodwin to be able to get down there.
Teal the batter, Brock Wilkin on deck should he get the opportunity. And Teal fouls off this one for strike 1.
And talk about maybe a home run coming out from this Mariners lineup today. This is a guy to keep an eye on for sure who is a threat in Kyle Teal.
Yeah, he's been great. Tied for the team leading walks with Gino Groover. Had 1 last night, although he went 0 for 3.
And he's a lefty at that, the way that this field is playing again today.
The 0-1 misses downstairs and count is evened up. And although the Mariners did not really have a lot of hits last night, they had 4 lineouts, and they did a great job of working a lot of counts. There was a lot of full counts in which they were able to battle. They just unfortunately didn't win them, but a game of small things, and as soon as those are flipped around, I'm sure a night like that won't happen again. But yeah, definitely just an off night for them. They're happy to be back at it here. Not a very far road trip. Count is 2-1 to Kyle Teal. Lyons takes a look in and takes a look at the runner. Goodwin back in there safely.
And you raise a good point about the fact that the Mariners still had a lot of really high-quality at-bats, and even if you're not getting hits, so long as you are controlling that aspect of your game, you're still putting in an excellent effort at the plate. Then, as you said, things are going to flip around at some point or another.
There goes Goodwin. The throw down to third. He's in there. Stolen base for Nick Goodwin. And how about that jump, especially considering Kyle Teal, a lefty. The catcher in Fernando Gonzalez has a free lane to throw it down to third base, but still Goodwin too fast, and he's 90 feet away. 3-1.
He got a really nice jump on that. I mean, he was about halfway as it was coming out of the hand of Lyons on the mound. So really excellent jump for Goodwin, and he's setting the Mariners up well here.
3-1 pitch coming. Teal fouls it off, and count is worked full. Coach Engler showing he wants to be aggressive early here. And it has worked out. Granted, Goodwin, a very fast base runner. But stealing third with a left-handed batter up is very uncommon these days. Especially this early in the ballgame, but they'll take it.
Shows the kind of faith he has in his player in Goodwin.
Payoff pitch coming. Breaking ball, foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. And Teal goes down. 2 away.
Nice job by Gonzalez to hold on to that one. They had a nice job by Lyons to hang in there on that count. Sometimes when an at-bat goes long, it can favor the batter, but he was able to finally sit him down, and now it's a chance here for Wilkin with a man on third.
Wilkin still searching for his first hit of the 2022 season. He was hit by a pitch twice last night, also walked. And the first pitch from Lyons. He fouls over into the parking lot. I don't know how that didn't catch a car off the first bounce. Looks like it did on the second. The thing about Red Wilson Field is anything that goes over the backstop, you better hope you're parked far away. There's a lot of car casualties at this ballpark.
Oh, yeah, I parked further along the other side of the parking lot because I've seen plenty of foul balls across my season and a half on the Cape.
Second pitch is at the eyes for ball one. Joe Vitrano on deck. He's back into the lineup at first base. Had a night off last night. Gino Groover was over at first. He moves out to left tonight. And the 1-1 pitch. That one just above the letters for ball two. Lions definitely bringing it. We don't have a speedometer, radar that we can look at, but he's really firing it in there. 2 balls, 1 strike now to the Wake Forest Demon Deacon. Breaking ball misses down low, and Wilkin up in the count now 3-1.
A couple of nice takes from Wilkin to work himself into a favorable count. See if he tries to get a piece of one here.
Long look in from Lyons. And Wilkin chops this one right back to him. Lyons, plenty of time, flips it on to first. And the Mariners strand one on a walk and end the inning. We head to the home half of the first. YD coming and trying to get on the board first. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back here, Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth. Let's meet the YD Red Sox starting lineup. Leading off in left field, Luke Schliger. Batting second, the center fielder, Cole Carrig. Batting third, the third baseman, Mike Bovey. Batting fourth in right field, Luke Franzoni. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Johnny Long. Batting sixth at first base, Caden Connor. Batting seventh at shortstop, Hunter Haas. Batting eighth, doing the catching, is Fernando Gonzalez. And batting ninth at second is Gunnar Goldsmith. First pitch to the leadoff hitter, Schliger, is in there for strike one. Dean making his second appearance of the season. In his first, he went an inning and 2/3, allowed a couple runs, and he's now up in the count 0-2 early. A long breath, brings it down to his waist, and fires. That one up at the head, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, Noah Dean, one of these guys who was primarily a reliever back in college, but he's now in his second start, as we've mentioned. So it'll be interesting to see just how long he goes today after the 1 2/3 back last Sunday.
Fouls that one off. In that first inning, Tim, I'm pretty sure he only faced 3 or 4 batters. He was fantastic to start, but really ran into some trouble with control in the second inning, and that's why he got the early hook. Joe Savino was fortunate enough to come on and pick up his starter. The 1-2 pitch. This one lined in between shortstop and third for a base hit, and the leadoff runner in Schliger is on with a single.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see YD early on getting a hit. This is a team that's right up there in batting average right now in the CCBL, 226. Not the grandest, but for what it's worth, a lot of teams have been struggling right now. 6 teams coming into today batting under 200 across the Cape Cod Baseball League. So right up there at 226, that's second in the league. So this is a YD lineup that you really need to take carefully here.
First pitch to Cole Carey. He looks to bunt, but pulls it back. And it's 1-0. Cole Carrig leads the league in at-bats with 22, hits with 10, and average with 455. He has been nothing short of sensational here to start this season. Just game 6. He was held quiet against the Mariners back in game 1, a 2-1 loss for the Sox. 1-0 pitch is lifted up into foul territory, and it will escape out of play. And yeah, Dean, a guy who can really pump the zone. He's got some serious velocity, as you mentioned, a fastball guy, and a lot of scouts have been asking about him, seeing when he's going to pitch next, and so definitely another opportunity to shine in the spotlight here for Dean. He's excited. 1-1. That one upstairs, and the count is worked 2-1. Carrig went to San Diego State, was an Aztec there, along with our social media coordinator, Courtney Robinson. Actually neighbors with him, so that's something cool. Such a small world. 2-1 pitch. That fouled off and over the press box. And the count is evened up at 2. On deck, Mike Bovey, the hero last night, had a walk-off single to deep center field. 2-2 pitch. That one under Levens and a free bag for Schliger. He's in the second base easily. Kind of something you don't see too often from Tatum Levens. Usually a wall back there. Gets by him and count now full. Dean being put to work early.
Yeah, unfortunate game or break there for Harwich, as that one did slip by Levens. Now a lot of pressure on Dean here. As you mentioned, getting worked early. Man on second, nobody away.
Payoff pitch. This one popped up foul again, and he's able to stay alive. Yeah, definitely wouldn't want to park my car. It's only inning number 1, and we've had 3 or 4 balls sail into the parking lot already. So, kind of like roulette, almost like car roulette, it seems like. 3-2 delivery from Noah Dean. That one got a piece of Cole Carrig, and he will get first base the hard way.
Yeah, not the greatest start so far here for Dean. Gave up the single, and then the added pressure as the ball was able to get past Levens to the backstop. And now you hit the batter in Carrig, and there's 2 on here, nobody away with Bovey, who, as you mentioned, the hero last night for YD, and an interesting win for them. They did walk it off for their first victory of the season, but they made it difficult on themselves last night. They were up 4-1 in the 9th inning. 2 outs, 2 strikes to their final batter potentially, and then Orleans came all the way back to tie it in the top of the 9th before YD had to walk it off.
First pitch in there at the letters for strike 1, and yeah, Tim, we were talking with Carlo and Sam, the YD broadcasters pregame, and, you know, still searching for their first win at the time. I can't even imagine the emotions when you just see your team crumble. And, of course, no extra innings. So very lucky that YD was able to escape with a walk-off in the ninth because they don't want another tie. Second pitch misses up and away for ball 1.
I mean, you'll take points however you could get them in the Cape Cod Baseball League. It's so tough to get a win. Points in the standings, when it comes down to it at the end of the season, every last one matters. But I guess that's why you really want that win so much more so than just a tie. That one extra point, even beyond from a loss to a tie, is so important.
1-1 is in there for a strike, and I think that I agree with you 100%, but when you're blowing a 3-run lead in the ninth and still winless, yeah, you just got to – that's one of the ones that hurts. You throw in a guy who's in a save scenario and you're not able to come through. It's really heartbreaking and can really be a momentum drop. Dean takes a look at second, and the 1-2. That one, he hit another man. Mike Bovey is drilled on the arm. Seems to be okay. He'll have a shiner tomorrow. And back-to-back hitters have been nailed by Noah Dean.
Yeah, and that's going to force a conversation as pitching coach Steve Rosa now heads out onto the mound to have a talk with Dean and Levens. It's been tough early on here. The control hasn't been there entirely. Obviously, he's hit 2 batters. But then as he was pitching to Schliger, he just left it right in the zone. Schliger able to put it through to the left side, and so has not been making it all too difficult for YD to get on base so far here in this first inning.
Now coming up, you got a guy who leads the Cape League in home runs, in Luke Franzoni. He's got 2 early on in the season through 5 games. And another thing about Luke is he's either striking out or he's going yard. I mean, one of those boomer bust guys. Think Mike Zanino for reference. Luke set the record at Xavier with 29 home runs this season. Won the home run derby in the NECBL last summer. And he gets a chance here with no outs and the bases loaded. That pitch is bounced in the dirt for ball 1. He was a member of the Valley Blue Sox, as I'm sure I've mentioned at some point, so I'm pretty familiar with him. Good guy. Utility player. He's out in right tonight. A ball and no strikes now to Franzoni. Bounced again, and Levens being put to work. And a 2-0 count now to a power threat is not a place that Dean wants to be.
There's nowhere to put him, too. Even if you keep trying to pitch around him, you walk him. It's a 1-0 lead for YD.
Here's the 2-0 pitch to Franzoni. Misses low and in, and it's 3-0. Dean really having some trouble out there. Still nobody away. Bases are loaded at Schliger at third, Carey at second, and Bovey at first. 2 of them hit by a pitch. 3-0 is in there at the knees. Just barely a strike. Close one there. 3 balls in a strike. Here's the pitch. Checked his swing. In there anyway, and the count has worked full. And now the Mariners no stranger to this situation. They were in it last night. They were able to escape with just 2 runs, given up on bases loaded and nobody away. They were also in the situation, which was a turning point in the ball game. They only got 1 on bases loaded, no outs. 3-2, and Franzoni lines that one foul down the third base line. We'll do it again.
Yeah, nearly taking out both Scott Pickler and Luke Schliger, who's over on third base, but it ended up being those 2 runs yesterday for YD Bourne that made the difference. And so if you're Harwich, you really don't want to fall down for what would be the 5th time this season. Only once Harwich has been the first team to score.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Dean kicks and fires. That one up and away, and it's another walk. Coming in to score is Schliger, and the Red Sox are on the board. It's 1-0.
control has just not been there for Noah Dean. It's been tough for him to find the strike zone. He was able to work the count full after falling behind pretty deep early on, but it has not looked great from him early here.
Johnny Long will climb in. Another boomer bust guy, leads the league in strikeouts. Double digits for him. Is that one almost got him? It's 1-0. He's got 10 of them this season. Dean set again, and the pitch. In there at the knees for a strike. And a guy who is very capable of bringing it, which is what you expect to see from Dean, but the last few outings he's just had a lot of trouble with control. Still nobody away. Bases loaded, 1-1. Bounced in the dirt, and Levens makes a nice stop. It's 2-1.
It's a really nice stop. That thing skipped right about the feet of Johnny Long, who had to jump over it. Levens had to read the hop beyond Long, and so really important stop there. Saves a run easily.
Two balls and a strike. The designated hitter in for the Sox, and he chops that one over towards his dugout. And it'll be 2-2. Caden Connor, the first baseman, awaits on deck. Two-two offering from Dean. Just misses. A little up and away, and it's once again a full count. He's got to get this guy. Three balls and two strikes. That one, did it get him?
It might have. Either way, that's
I
ball
heard
four.
something.
Looks like the ump pointing back to home. Yes, it did get him, even either way. Certainly not in the zone. As Steve Englert's going to go out there now with the first 5 batters, each having gotten on. Only one hit. Noah Dean has loaded the bases and brought a run in.
So, yeah, Coach Englert will head out there. A very tough start. 3 batters hit this inning. Luckily, I think 2 of them have barely nicked the elbows. But that will be the evening for Dean. They're going to make a call to the bullpen. When we come back, Mariners still in a jam. Nobody out here, and the bases loaded. They trail 2-0. We'll be right back here on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back. Call to the bullpen. It's going to be the righty Andrew Ronnie from East Tennessee State University. A native of Athens, Tennessee, went to McMinn County High School, and he climbs in here tonight. He's made 1 appearance on the season, went 2 innings, allowed 1 run, which was earned, and 3 hits. As first pitch to the batter, Caden Connor, is fouled off.
And just to give you the line for Noah Dean very quickly, no innings pitched officially, not a single out recorded in his start. Gave up 1 hit on the leadoff batter, Schliger, walked 2 batters, hit 2 batters, and he's brought in 2 runs without a hit to drive in either of them.
No balls and 1 strike, and Ronnie just misses there. It's 1-1. We'll take a quick look at the Harwich defense from left to right in the outfield. It's going to be Groover the third, Kyle Teal, and Jake Geloff. From third to first in the infield will be Kenny Lavari, Nick Goodwin, Danny Corona, and Joe Vitrano, with Tatum Levens doing the catching now for Andrew Ronnie. 1-1 is fouled off, and it's 1-2. Just 1 hit thus far for YD. They've had 3 batters hit and another one walked. This is the 6th batter of the ball game. If you're just joining us, a slow start. Night is over for Noah Dean. The 1-2 pitch is grounded through the hole for a base hit. Down in to score is Mike Bovey. Over to third is Franzoni. Everyone moves up 90 feet, rather, and it's 3-0 Sox.
I mean, it looked like a better at-bat for Andrew Ronnie from a pitching perspective. He was attacking the batter, and Caden Connor, he had the foul plenty off, but he finally was able to find one he liked and was able to hit it through the left side, right past Goodwin and Lavari, and it's now 3-0 with still nobody out in the bottom of the first.
And really unfortunate. I mean, you got to just tip your cap to YD. The 2 hits they have been opposite field and good pieces of contact. I mean, not really much you can do as a pitcher. No balls and a strike down to the hitter, Hunter Haas, playing shortstop tonight for the Sox. Breaking ball in there for a strike. That was good from Ronnie, and he's up 0-2.
And something that's worth mentioning as we're having a bit of a long first inning here. Yes, we play to 27 outs a side here in baseball as usual, but whenever you're at YD, you're on somewhat of a timer.
As that one is in there, strike 3 swinging. Andrew Ronnie, the first out of the inning. He gets Haas to chase, and there's 1 away.
Yeah, nice off-speed pitch, able to get him to bite. Finally secures the first out of the inning. 7 batters in. But what I mean by that, when I say you're on a timer here, there are no lights at Red Wilson Field, and so should it get too dark to play your game, you have to call it after the last completed inning.
As this one chopped by home plate, they're going to rule it foul. A tough break for the Mariners. Levens was just about to step on the plate and fire on the first with plenty of time. Would have got them out of the inning, but the home plate umpire says otherwise. Close play. Really could have been awesome for the Mariners to escape there.
You want to try to just forget about it if you're Harwich, but yes, that very well could have gotten them out of the inning had it just broken ever so differently.
Fernando Gonzalez, the batter, he's doing the catching tonight, and he lifts this one out to left field and in. The Bermuda Triangle, 1 run is in Franzoni. Everybody up another 90 feet. That one hit shallow, and they weren't sure it was going to land, so not a great jump from the base runners. They do get 1, though, on their 3rd hit of the ball game. And it's 4-0.
YD just doing a really nice job passing along to the next batter up. I mean, now they're starting to make some contact here. Dean, he wasn't really able to find the strike zone so much, so YD wasn't really working for all their bases, but now it's hits in 2 out of the last 3 batters to take advantage of this bases loaded situation, and they are continuing to pile it on, and you have to think they're certainly expecting more here. Still just 1 away, and the bases still loaded.
It's been a fun one if you're from Dennis Yarmouth. This one grounded over to second. Corona, a glove flip to Goodwin for 1. On to first, it gets by Vitrano. 2 runs are going to score on what could have been an inning-ending double play, but Regardless, at first, it looked like the runner and Goldsmith was going to be safe, but still would have prevented another run. It is 6-0 now with 2 outs.
I like the glove flip from Corona over to Goodwin to record that first out, but there's a lot of pressure put on Goodwin to make that throw down to first by Goldsmith, as Goldsmith was headed down there in a hurry, and I understand the eagerness to end the inning if you're Harwich, but it cost you there. Another 2 runs come across.
6-0 Red Sox. Ronnie steps off here. There's now just 1 runner on second following that sequence. And it was Goldsmith who reached on a fielder's choice. First pitch now to the leadoff hitter is chopped over to first base. Vetrano collects it and steps on first. So the Red Sox bat around. They add 6 runs on 3 hits. 3 batters are hit and 1 walk issued. First inning ends. Harwich looking for an answer. They'll be coming up shortly in the top half of the second. Don't go anywhere on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back. It'll be Vetrano, Geloff, and Groover the third due up for the Mariners. Vetrano did not play yesterday, and he's eager to get something going here. He grounds this one over to first base, stabbed by Caden Connor, and he wins the race. Score that one 3-U, and there's 1 away.
I like the approach for Harwich. You try to be aggressive out of an inning like that where you're now down by 6 and your starter got chased without recording it out, but unfortunate that on 1 swing there's already 1 out now here in the top of the second.
Let's meet the YD defense. Left to right in the outfield, it's going to be Schliger, Carrig, and Franzoni. And third to first in the infield, Mike Bovey, Hunter Haas, Gunnar Goldsmith, and Caden Connor, with Fernando Gonzalez doing the catching for Jared Lyons. Geloff watches the ball go by. It's 1-0 to start his at-bat. He had a bloop single yesterday. And that one up high again. It's 2-0. On deck, Gino Groover the third. He had a hit yesterday, his second of the season. Two balls and no strikes to Geloff, and he fouls this one off to the right. It's 2-1. Geloff, a University of Virginia product. Another guy who could be poached by Team USA. 2-1 is upstairs. It's 3-1. And this one chopped over to second base. Goldsmith fields and flips on to first, losing the helmet. The hustle from Geloff, but not enough. And there's 2 down.
Again, you like the hustle from Harwich you're seeing here, but just not getting the breaks right now with the ball being put into play that they need after suffering an inning like that they just did on the mound.
Gino Groover III will climb in. Out in left field tonight, played first last night. He's kind of been all over the diamond. He chops this one over to shortstop, fielded by Haas, and he fires on to first. 1, 2, 3, go the Mariners. A very quick inning for Jared Lyons. We head to the home half of the second. YD trying to throw on some more. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back. Andrew Ronnie back out onto the hill. He was able to close out that first inning, which was kicked off by Noah Dean. And first pitch to Cole Carrig misses low for a ball. Cole batted in the first inning. He was hit by a pitch and scored one of the 6 YD runs. Remains the hottest hitter in the CCBL. Fouls that one off his foot, and the count is evened up. Coach Scott Pickler over at third base. He is 5 wins away from being the winningest coach in CCBL history. A fantastic campaign he's had. And yeah, unless something unbearable happens, he should be able to shatter that record this season.
Yep, looking for 540. That's the magic number to get him to the all-time winningest in CCBL history.
A ball and 2 strikes to Carrig. And it's now 2-2 as that one bounced in the dirt. Two pitch is fouled off. And we'll do it again. Cole, a utility guy, and he punches out there. Strike 3, swinging. Andrew Ronnie picks up the first Harwich punch out of the game, and there's 1 down here. A much better start to the inning.
Yeah, nice job done by Ronnie there. Opens up this inning with an out, a huge out, and good to set the tone for the rest of this inning.
Mike Bovey will climb in. University of Omaha, Nebraska for Bovey. He watches strike 1 go by. Didn't like the call, but it is in there. The 0-1 is on the outside corner for strike 2. Bovey also was hit by a pitch and scored back in the first. Breaking ball misses low that time. They're saying it got a piece of him. Bovey said it hit him on the foot. The umpire not sure. Bovey taking off all his gear, and the umpires are going to have to convene to talk about this.
certainly down low, as Bovey actually talking with Levens about it right now. Umpire's going to talk as well.
I'm sure he's not lying, but it must have been the smallest bit of contact. They are going to send him over to first base. Not something you see every day, but it's a rare case in which the batter's appeal actually won, and he was granted the verdict. Coach Scott Englert wants an explanation. That's the second time Bovey's been hit by a pitch here tonight.
And it just caught him on his back foot on the outside portion of it. So it was really on the way out of the batter's box. It just nicked him, and it was just enough. All you need is the tiniest bit of contact. And he's down to first.
Luke Franzoni will climb in. He walked and scored back in the first inning. Went 3 for 4 last night in the 5-4 win against Orleans. YD puts up 6 in the first. That's more than they had all last game, as this first pitch misses. It's 1-0.
And this is already the most runs that Harwich has allowed in a game all season long. The 6 that came across back in that first inning. 5 was the previous high mark by Chatham in game 2.
1-0 misses downstairs, and it's 2-0.
First time that Harwich has allowed an opponent to score in the first inning all season long as well.
2-0 pitch is fouled back into the parking lot. And it's 2-1. Franzoni 6'2", 220 from Robbinsville, New Jersey. He grounds this one over to third base. Diving stab on to second for 1 is Lavari on to first. In time! An inning-ending 5-4-3 double play. All starting with a Kenny Lavari dive. They go around the horn. And an asterisk 1-2-3 inning. Harwich, maybe a little life and momentum there. We head to the top of the third here at Red Wilson Field on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. And we're back. Kenny Lavari, the guy who made the diving stop to start the 5-4-3 double play, gets a chance to get on in the leadoff spot. He watches the ball go in for 1-0. Kenny hitting 143 on the season. He's had 7 at-bats and a hit. Takes a big cut at that one to even up the count. Danny Corona, the second baseman, also in on that turn, awaits on deck. Here comes the 1-1. In there at the knees for strike 2. Kenny Lavari, a teammate of Noah Dean. They both go to Old Dominion. A native of Vineland, New Jersey. 6'2", 190 pounds in the pitch. Swung on and missed. Lavari goes down swinging on 4 pitches. Lyons picks up strikeout number 2 on the day. And there's 1 away.
Yeah, Lyons continues to look good. I mean, he walked the very first batter, Nick Goodwin, but since then he's retired 7 straight.
Goodwin awaits on deck. It would be top of the order following Danny Corona. He stands into the left side of the batter's box. First pitch to him at the bottom of the zone for a strike. Corona did not start last game. He had a night off. But he's on a 2-game hit streak. Chance to build on that as he chops this one over to first base. Caden Connor flips on to the pitcher. A nice cover by Lyons. And there's 2 away.
Yeah, Harwich just finding defenders all over the infield. They've not gotten the ball to the outfield yet.
Goodwin will climb in. The only positive thus far in the lineup. The only batter to not be retired. He walked to lead off the game and was stranded at third. First pitch to him is just above the dirt, but got him swinging. It's 0-1. Catcher Tatum Levin's on deck should he got the opportunity. Here comes the 0-1. Bounced, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, went outside with the 0-1 pitch just then. It was not close enough.
Goodwin now a 6-game on base streak, trying to extend his hit streak. That one misses low. It's 2-1. Native of Overland Park, Kansas, goes to Kansas State. Nice and close to home. The pitch. Fouled off to the right. And now it's 2-2. Goodwin, along with hits, leads the team in at-bats, runs, doubles, home runs, runs batted in, sac flies, and he's rung up there. For strike 3, the Mariners go down quietly, 1-2-3. 2 strikeouts in that inning for Lyons. He's been fantastic. We head to the home half of the third. YD trying to put this game out of reach. We'll be right back on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Home half of the third. Johnny Long from Long Beach State climbs in, and he rips this one through second and first for a leadoff knock. The first pitch he sees from Andrew Ronnie, he laces into right field, and there's one on YD's 4th hit of the ball game.
YD, they're doing a lot right here. Granted, a lot of their success has come from the shortcomings of Noah Dean in his outing here. No innings pitched, put 5 on without without recording a single out, but even still, YD's been able to make some contact.
Caden Connor will climb in. Went to Orange Lutheran High School, a native of Anaheim Hills, California. Today he's already singled and scored, so a pretty good start for him. Also made a couple nice plays over at first base on defense. The 1-0. He looks to bunt, but it's in there for a strike when he pulls it back, and count is evened up. He's the only player on Cal State Fullerton to play in every single game. So definitely one of those guys that's tough as nails, endurable. 1-1, misses just low, and it's 2-1. First team All-Trinity League, National High School Invitational Tournament MVP, second team All-Orange County, and Rookie of the Year in the Trinity League. That was back when he was younger. As count is now 3-1. If you're just joining us, YD put up 6 runs in the first inning behind 3 hit batsmen, 3 hits, a walk, and a couple sloppy defensive plays by the Mariners. This one is muscled into center field, falling quick, and it's down. It's fielded in center, and they're going to get to throw the runner out. Score that in 8-6 putout. So a base hit, but I'm not sure if it'll be ruled. I think it might be a fielder's choice, actually.
We'll have to ultimately check what they score that, but part of why that even happened in the first place is because the ball hung up there long enough to confuse Johnny Long as to whether or not it would be caught, and by the time it dropped, he was not nearly close enough to second base to be able to beat out the throw.
It's going to go as a fielder's choice. So now 1 runner on and 1 out. Count 1-0 to the new hitter and Hunter Haas. Pitch is fouled off into the parking lot. And it's now 1-1. Haas has gotten out already, one of the 3 outs in the first inning, an inning in which YD was all over the Mariners. And it's 1-2 now to him. He'll be going to Arizona State next year. A native of Phoenix, Arizona, and fouls off this pitch. We'll do it again. 6'0", but just 170 pounds. Third appearance of the season. Or excuse me, he will be going to Texas A&M next year. He's leaving Arizona State. I misread that one, and it's 2-2 now. Runner on first, 1 down. They're going to rule a balk on Andrew Ronnie. So a free base now for Caden Connor. Second balk against the Mariners this season. Two balls and 2 strikes. This one bounced in front of the plate, and count has worked full.
Just about everything that could be going wrong for Harwich pitching is going wrong right now.
Yeah, very difficult night thus far on both sides of the ball. Payoff pitch is low, and Andrew Ronnie issues a free ticket to first base. Now stepping up is Fernando Gonzalez. He singled back in the first inning. He was thrown off the bases due to a fielder's choice hit by the following batter in Gunnar Goldsmith. First pitch to Gonzalez is inside for ball 1. Harwich still being no hit here through 3 innings. We're in the home half. YD has 4 hits. As this one misses low and away, it's 2-0. Sun's starting to go down, and as aforementioned by Tim, no lights here at Red Wilson Field. One of, I believe, 3 in the Cape League without lights. This one lined over to second. Danny Corona tripped going for it. The runners are all going to advance up a station, and they're all loaded up here with 1 out in the 3rd. Nice piece of hitting by Fernando Gonzalez. Corona, although he tripped and fell, probably wouldn't have had a play at it anyway. But nonetheless, 5th hit of the ball game for the Sox. That's as many as they had in their 2-1 loss at White House just a few days ago. They got it here in the home half of the 3rd and still building.
Devin, you asked me as this game was getting started if I thought that last night's walk-off win was going to jumpstart anything for YD. I think this is your answer right here. If that first inning in and of itself was not, the fact that now here in the 3rd they're continuing to build up these large opportunities. They've once again loaded the bases with only 1 out.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely a good point, and sometimes it's all it takes. I mean, you see it at every level. We saw the Red Sox start the season so poorly, leading the league in blown saves, and now they're one of the best teams in baseball over the last month. And now similarly, we see the YD Red Sox here starting to put something together. Granted, only the first game after that momentum swing, but wouldn't be shocked if it carried, and it's 2-1 now to the batter Goldsmith. Goldsmith, a Sacramento State student, fouls off that one to even up the count. They won 30 games this year. He went his first season to Washington State, but he transferred. Two-two pitch from Ronnie, set and delivered. That one up high, but got him to chase, and it's fouled off. Nice job to stay alive by Goldsmith. His grandpa, Steve Lane, played baseball for Nevada. Two balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Breaking ball just misses outside, and it's worked full. Pitching woes continue for the Mariners, and although this game has seemed very long, closing in on just 1 hour played. First pitch was at 4:58, 5:57 now Eastern Time. This one chopped over to first. Vetrano, a diving stop. They're going to rule it foul as he was brought over the line. Run would have come in to score anyways. I don't think Vetrano was going to, by any means, get this to any other base than first. So we'll do the 3-2 again. Nice effort, though, from Joe.
Would have been nice to get the out, but maybe still now you still have a chance to cut down any runs from coming across this inning.
There's also still a strikeout possibility for Ronnie. He's got 2 on the batter. Pitch. And this one lined over to second. Corona Fields goes to first just for the 1. Run comes in to score, and it's 7-0. Second fielder's choice by Goldsmith. Or excuse me, it's going to be a 4-3 putout. But he does get the job done. Picks up his 3rd run that he's helped across the plate of this ball game. Luke Schliger will climb in. This now is 3rd at bat in as many innings. He has singled and scored as well as grounded out to first. He's got 2 ducks on the pond in 2nd and 3rd. And YD will take all the run support they can get. They have not had much through the first 5 games, and they are putting on a clinic here at home in front of the fans. A ball and a strike now. The pitch. Swung on and missed, and it's 1-2.
A nice off-speed pitch down in the low. able to get Schliger out ahead of it before it came in.
A ball and 2 strikes. This one bounced in front of home. And it's 2-2 with 2 outs here and 2 runners on.
Tried to go back to that same pitch, the off-speed, low in the zone. As Schliger this time able to check his swing.
2-2, misses at the feet, and count is worked full again. Ronnie's really had to throw a lot of pitches. Credit to the YD batters, making him go lengthy in at-bats. They've been fouling off a lot, but another payoff pitch is spoiled. This one pushed off to the left, and we'll have to do it again.
Ronnie, so far, he's thrown 54 pitches to this point in the ball game.
Through just 1 2/3 innings. So, yeah, definitely been a grind out there for him. Payoff, that one got him. Bounced, and that will be the, I believe, 5th hit batsman in this game. Yeah, 2 2/3 innings for Ronnie, excuse me. Not 1 2/3. 5th hit batsman in the ball game. Inning stays alive. They're all loaded up for the hottest hitter in the Cape Cod Baseball League, Cole Carrig. This could get ugly here. First pitch. Right down Broadway for a strike. Cole has been hit by a pitch and scored and also struck out swinging. No balls and a strike. The pitch. Got him lunging there, and now Ronnie's got a few pitches to work with. He's way up 0-2. We'll see what Tatum Levens wants from Ronnie here. East Tennessee State Buccaneer takes a long look in. They're all loaded up. The runner at second, Gonzalez, wanted a balk. He won't get it. 0-2 pitch coming from Ronnie, and Carrig wants time. Red Wilson Field, home of the Dennis Yarmouth Dolphins as well, near the high school. No balls, 2 strikes. That pitch got Carrig. He is hit by it the second time he's been drilled here tonight, and he very tenderly is to his feet. Probably got him right in one of the soft spots. He'll trot down, run in to score, the 6th hit batsman of the ball game by the Harwich staff. It has really just been a tough go for them. The score 8-0. And that'll bring up Mike Bovey, who's already been hit twice as well.
It's just been a completely different story here today when you talk about pitching compared to what we've seen across the first 5 games for the Mariners.
First pitch to Bovey misses up high for ball 1, and yeah, I mean, just a couple games ago, the staff put together 17 strikeouts and then 10 the next game. Just 7 last night in the loss, but they have really been dealing and keeping offenses quiet, but they've allowed 8 runs here through just 2 2/3. It has been a tough go. As that one upstairs for ball 3, and now Bovey can be selective.
And Harwich already coming into today leading the league in hit batters with 6, and they've doubled that figure here against YD.
3-0. That one in there for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strikes with 2 out. Gonzalez at third, Schliger at second, and Carrig at first. This one right down the middle again. Carrig still a little tender out on first base.
Excuse me, they've hit 7.
This one grounded over to second. Corona gathers and fires on the first to end the inning. The Sox add 2 more as 8 batters come up to the plate. Harwich trying to play for pride now. We head to the 4th inning. We'll take a quick break and be right back on the other side on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back. 4th inning here. I'll be handing play-by-play duties over to my partner and colleague, Tim Foley, for the 4th through 6th innings here. Tim?
Thanks so much, Devin. As we have leading off for us here in the top of the 4th inning, Tatum Levens comes up to bat. On deck is Kyle Teal. We'll also see Brock Wilkin. Tatum Levens swings and misses. No, we got a piece of it nonetheless. A strike issued out to him on the first pitch from Lyons, who's back out there now in his 4th inning of work. An 0-1 count here to Levens, rocking and delivering. Lyons misses up high to 1-1 count. The cloud coverage is ever increasing here at Merrill Red Wilson Field. And when you talk about how this is already a ballpark that has no lights, that becomes an even greater factor as the 1-1 is off speed in for a strike. It's 1-2. The clouds make it darker even sooner than it would already get. And something that the umpires do take into consideration is how possible it is for a team to come back and win a game. Last season, as the 1-2 misses and it's a 2-2 count, in a game for the Mariners at Brewster, they were down by, I want to say, about 10 or so at Brewster. And the umpires ultimately came to the decision that Harwich was not going to be able to come back in time as this ball skied out to left field. Settling underneath it is Luke Schliger. He'll catch it, and there's one away. And so you're taking that into consideration, the fact that Harwich at this point needs to score 8 runs, and then by the time they do, you need to complete another bottom half of the inning. It's still early, but you can't waste time if you're Harwich. Every single at-bat is so important at this point in time.
Yeah, I think you put it perfectly, Tim. No need to reiterate it. That cloud coverage is threatening. Supposed to get a lot of rain throughout the night, so, kind of on cue, if you will. And Harwich down 8 runs early here, and they don't even have a hit. So I don't think the umpires will have any problem pulling the trigger if this one continues to get darker.
And want to bring to everybody's attention here that a record's been tied actually here today, as it's a 1-1 count here to Kyle Teal on that last RBI hit by pitch that was issued to Cole Carrig, as the 1-1 is in for a called strike. Just the second time in the last 10 years that a Cape Cod Baseball League team has been hit by 6 pitches. A shout out to Mike over with YD for finding that fact for us, as that one's going to be chopped over to the left side. A broken bat fielded by Bovey. Throw on to first is in time, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, and the bat just kind of the story of the ball game for Harwich. It snaps. Teal got jammed a little bit. Didn't get the sweet spot on it. He grounds it over to third base. That's going to be an easy play for Mike Bovey. Almost pulled the first baseman in Caden Connor off the bag, but it'll be a 5-3 putout and 2 outs.
And it's Brock Wilkin who steps up to bat. Wilkin, his last at-bat, grounded out to the pitcher. As this one's going to be thrown in for a called strike. It's 0-1 with 2 away. Joe Vitrano stands on deck as Wilkin behind the count here, 0-1. Lyons has looked good. He walked the first ball player of the game, but since then has been able to retire the previous 11.
Yeah, I mean, what more can you ask for out of your starter? And we've seen a few instances of this. We think back to Magnus Ellerts, who came in, walked the first man, and then between him and Joe Miller at Chatham, they were able to shut down Harwich. So the second time we've really seen this pattern in 2022.
As Wilkin checks his swing, but he got a piece of it. That's a foul ball, sent it over to the Harwich dugout. And it's a 1-2 count. Lions now a pitch away from getting out of the top of the 4th inning. Wilkins stands in now, ready to receive the pitch. Lyons stares in, rocks, and delivers. That'll skip in the dirt, and the count will even out now at 2-2. Some other games going on across the Cape here today. This, of course, a 5 o'clock start time, so starting before anybody else. But Chatham's taking a trip over to Brewster, Catuit over to Hyannis, Falmouth is visiting Wareham, and Bourne has made the trip all the way to Orleans tonight. Wilkins going to pull this one to left field. Schliger charging at it. That's going to get down past the diving Schliger. Wilkins going to go for 2, and he's going to hold up at second base. Brock Wilkin, a 2-out double as the Mariners finally able to get a hit on the board. We'll see. They may be looking to rule it in error perhaps, but that was a ball that would have been tough to field, but we're yet to see a hit put up in the Mariners column. That's the only reason I even acknowledge that it may not have been a hit.
Yeah, they finally do rule it a hit. I was going to say it's a hit in my book. I mean, Brock Wilkin tagged this ball. It was a great effort from Schliger, but typically on a diving play, it's very rare that an error is granted. And a nice play that time by Brock. Gets heads up, base running, gets over to second. And now Harwich a chance to get on the board with Joe Vitrano in the left-hand side.
So that snapped a streak of 11 straight Mariners sent back to the dugout. As first pitch is a called strike to Joe Vitrano, who is 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to the first baseman in his last at-bat. That was to open up the second inning. It's an 0-1 count to him. Here is Lyons. He'll come set, takes a deep breath, takes a look back at Wilkin over on second base, stares home and delivers. Next pitch misses for a ball, and it's now 1-1. Talked a bit earlier about the wind, still kicking here at Red Wilson Field. Vitrano a lefty, and Harwich home runless across their past 3 games. Did not hit a home run across that 3-game homestand. And Vitrano is trying to swing for the fences just then, but he missed all of it. It's a 1-2 count now.
Yeah, and such a big, vicious cut. I mean, if he connects, this ball is going to fly. So now with 2 strikes, you do have to protect. We'll see him shorten up on the bat, but don't be shocked if Vitrano catches one soon.
Here's the 1-2. That one's going to be pushed out towards center field. Underneath it is Carrig. He'll make the catch, and that ends the inning. Brock Wilkin hits a double with 2 outs, but nothing comes of it. Down go the Mariners. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. They trail by 8. We'll be back on the other side. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. Welcome back to Merrill Red Wilson Field. Tim Foley and Devin Dobick along with you. An 8th spot has been put up by the YD Red Sox. They lead it 8-0 over the Harwich Mariners. 6 in the first, 2 now in the third. And now here we are, the bottom of the 4th inning. And it's going to be Zane Probst who comes out onto the mound in an effort to sort of settle things down for the Mariners, as they have been just struggling across the first 3 innings on the mound.
Yeah, to say the least, Tim. I mean, it has been just a controlled disaster. Hopefully, they'll be able to bounce back tomorrow. They got a double header with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. So if they want a chance to get a couple wins, they got a chance to do it twice tomorrow, both at White House Field. So should be awesome to get back home, and they'll love to do that.
Still time left in this one. How much, we're not sure, because again, weather always a question. Darkness. The 2-1 count swung on and missed by Franzoni as he leads it off for the Red Sox. So it's Zane Probst who's on the mound now. His last outing, the home opener against Falmouth. That was an outing in which he pitched an inning and 2/3, gave up just 1 hit, did not allow a run, and struck out 4. Here's the 2-2. That's going to miss outside, and it's a 3-2 count.
Franzoni has walked and scored and grounded into a double play. The probably, I would say, one positive, other than Brock Wilkins' first hit of the year. Probably the one positive in this game for Harwich.
As the 3-2 pitch comes in, that's going to be popped up over toward third. Wilkin is back. Or no, rather, that's Lavari at third, but it's Groover who comes charging all the way in from left and is able to make the catch. And there's one down now here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
And I can't imagine how difficult that ball was to track. The sky is effectively gray. That ball must have blended in better than camouflage. But nonetheless, Gino Groover doing a nice job of taking charge, coming in from the outfield, puts it away, and the leadoff batter is retired, which is huge for Harwich.
And I know we keep harping on it, but the wind the tail that the wind is putting on that ball as it comes back down to earth has to make it that much more difficult as well to field it. So it looked a little uncertain for a moment there. I mean, you had Goodwin, Lavari, and Groover all sort of just crowding around the area, and Groover finally coming down with it as the first 2 pitches to the batter and Johnny Long each miss, and the count is 2-0 here to the batter and Long. Long on the day. He is 1 for 1. Got hit by a pitch, came all the way around to score back in the 1st inning, and then singled, but was cut down at second on a ball that dropped down into shallow center, as he was then cut down at the bag by Kyle Teal, who's headed up center field here today. The 2-1 pitch is going to miss inside. It's now 3-1.
Probst 6'4", 210 pounds, rising junior at Seton Hall.
This ball's going to be popped up foul, that will head out of play. It's 3-2.
Zane made a team-high 18 relief appearances in 2022. The team low ERA at 4.98 over 34 1/3 innings.
And that's going to be ball 4, a walk issued to Johnny Long. He'll head down to first base for the 3rd time today. 3rd different style in which he's been able to make it down to first base as well. Again, got hit by a pitch, singled, and now here he has walked. He's going for a different kind of cycle. 5 different ways you can get onto first base, and he's got 3 of them. Now up at the dish is Caden Connor. Connor, he's singled and reached on a fielder's choice. Do you know what the other 2 ways to get onto first base are, Devin? As the first pitch comes in to Caden Connor and is in for a called strike.
Give me a couple minutes to think about that one. But on the note for tomorrow, it'll be Herman Fajardo in Game 1 and Jonathan Santucci pitching Game 2 for Harwich. So a couple guys looking to get their second appearances.
Yes, it's an 0-1 count here from Probst. The pitch. And they're going to say that got him. That is the 7th hit batter here today. And I believe, based on the research that we got earlier from our insider with YD, that very well may be a Cape League record. for number of hit batters in a game at 7, and we are through about 3.5 innings.
And the media team can't believe it. I mean, this is a story they do not want to write. But nonetheless, here we are. 7 hit batsmen. Harwich in a really bad spot here in the 4th.
So this has not been Harwich's day on the mound, as Zane Probst was able to get the first out, but then walked the batter and hit the very next, and now that one's going to fly out of play, fouled off by Hunter Haas. Haas behind the count, 0-2.
Probst in his first appearance went an inning and 2/3 and punched out 4 while walking 1 and allowing just 1 hit, so he was solid in his first outing.
As the next pitch misses, not quite sure where. It's a 1-2 count now.
I'm going to go with a little outside because it definitely was the right height. Seemed to be right above the knees, so probably just a bit off the plate.
Here's the 1-2, hit on the ground. Back to Probst, goes off the end of his glove, out over to the gap between short and third, and everybody's going to be safe. That was a ball that Goodwin was prepared to field. Had it gotten past Probst, he tried to stab at it and make the play himself, but instead he helped to keep the play alive and put Hunter Haas over on first base. So Johnny Long heads down to third, Caden Connors up to second, and Haas has headed his way down to first base on a single. So Fernando Gonzalez comes up to bat now, swings at the first pitch and misses, and he's behind in the count now, 0-1.
All right, other 2 ways. I'm thinking I got it.
Okay.
Intentional walk. Is that included?
I think that falls under the
right,
umbrella
well
of a walk.
Reach on error is the other one, and then I'm going to have to think about the 5th one.
A foul tip goes back into the glove of Levens. That's held on to, and it's 0-2. Our team writer, Johnny Deppen, believes he knows. He's not in the hot seat right now, however. It's an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. It's going to miss outside. An important save there made by Tatum Levens, diving out to his right to be able to stay in front of that one. It's a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on the 1-2 pitch. Down goes the batter in Fernando Gonzalez. So that is going to be the first strikeout of the day for Zane Probst, and there's now 2 away.
And a big one at that. Bases loaded and 1 away. You got to think Whitey's going to tack on something, but a strikeout, one of the few things that really will work in that situation because the ball's not put in play. The runners have no chance to advance anywhere. And now with 2 out, all you got to worry about is the out.
And Devin, I'm sorry I lied. There are 7 ways to reach first base.
So I was thrown off from the get-go.
As this one's going to be hit out into center field, left field rather. Gino Groover is able to come over and make the catch. We'll have the answer for today's trivia question on the other side of the break. In the meantime, it's 8-0 YD as we head into the top of the 5th inning. Harwich has hit 7 batters here tonight against the Red Sox. We'll be back. You're watching the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back to Red Wilson Field here in South Yarmouth. Tim Foley and Devin Dobick along with you. An 8-0 lead for the YD Red Sox in the top of the 5th inning. Harwich is in need of putting together some runs. And of note as well, for a game to be completed, as this very first pitch, which is dealt to Jake Geloff, skied up toward first base, it finally comes back down into orbit, and it's caught by the first baseman, Caden Connor. There's one away on one pitch in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, and just really nothing doing. One hit on the day. 2 batters have reached first base. And just quick appearances. Jared Lyons just mowing through hitters. Really not much you can do with Harwich. I mean, they're just having a slow offensive night, but the pitching has also been great. I mean, you got to acknowledge that.
And you mentioned Lyons. He is back out there. It is his 5th inning of work. And yes, just the one hit. That was the double given up by, that was a hit by Brock Wilkin, I should say, back in the 4th inning. Only other batter to get on was Nick Goodwin to get on with a leadoff walk. 1-0 count is in for a called strike. It's now 1-1.
Getting a little chilly out.
Certainly so.
But, you know, summer baseball, you're going to get that, I guess.
That's a hard hit ball by Groover out toward right field. That's going to get down. A 1-out single from Gino Groover pushes it the opposite way. And that gets down, so the Mariners now have a man on first base in Gino Groover.
2-game hit streak now for Gino. He'd love to get going. He's been in the middle of the lineup for most of the starts he's made, but now in the 7th spot, hopefully trying to play his way back up there. Little confidence he's earned right there, and Mariners will take it. They're second in the ball game.
And so now in steps in Kenny Lavari. Lavari 0 for 1 on the day. He's struck out swinging. This one's going to be hit pretty hard through the gap on the left side. That's going to get through into left field past Hunter Haas. Now runners on first and second base here for Harwich with 1 down.
Beautiful piece of hitting. We've seen a few of those from YD where they're getting pitches up and in, and they're just forcing them into left field. Coming on the left side of the batter's box, that is, opposite field. And a nice job there by Lavari. Harwich now in a little bit of business here with 2 on and 1 out.
Danny Corona grounded out to first in his first at-bat. There's a relay back over to Lyons, who is covering on first. First pitch comes into him, and it's going to miss for ball 1. So, Devin, I asked you last inning, there are 7 ways to get on base, onto first base.
Well, I think you said 5.
I said 5 initially. I corrected, I believe, before the end of last inning. Maybe I didn't, but there are 7 ways to get onto first base. You've given me 5 of them, as this one's hit on the ground. Right side, that'll be scooped up by the first baseman, Connor. He'll tag first, and the runners advance, but there are now 2 down here as Danny Corona grounds out to Caden Connor. This will bring up Nick Goodwin back to the top of the order.
Yeah, top of the order, and what we've seen thus far, or what we know thus far as myself, I guess we'll say, you can get on with a single, a fielder's choice, being hit by a pitch, reaching on an error, or walking. There's still 2 more.
There are 2
that
more.
Are driving me up a wall. I'm going to lose it, but something to keep me thinking here.
As the first pitch into Goodwin is rather high, he has to lean out of the way to avoid it. It's a 1-0 count.
Goodwin on the day has walked and struck out looking. 3rd at bat now here in the 5th inning.
The 1-0 pitch, that'll be fouled back by Goodwin, and it's now 1-1.
Goodwin leads the team in runs batted in with 4. He can add to that here. He's got 2 on with 2 out. And Harwich would love to just get something going.
As Lyons stares in, looks over toward third base at Groover, stares home and delivers. Swing and a miss on a fastball up high, and the count now 1-2. Lyons, he's been dealing here today. Very excellent job so far on the mound, trying to go at least 5 complete and be eligible for the win. Would all but lock it up. If you can just record one more out, you have to imagine. It's a 1-2 count here. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That ends the inning. That is strikeout number 4 on the day for Jared Lyons. And the Mariners strand 2. Still 8-0 after 4.5 innings of play. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th inning on the other side. You're watching the Harwich Mariners, the YouTube network. Welcome back inside Red Wilson Field. Luke Schliger leads us off in the bottom of the 5th inning for the YD Red Sox. Rain is imminent. Potentially, it is certainly cloudy here at Red Wilson Field. The wind is still kicking. Chief Meteorologist Chris Cassidy trying to relay the weather through. What's the practice when they use flags at sea to try to indicate
like
weather
Paul
patterns?
Revere?
No, you're thinking of lanterns. Very different practice.
Chris Cassidy, I don't know if I'd want him to be my weatherman. I don't think he'd have the credibility for me to believe him if we're gonna get dumped on.
It's a 3-0 count here now as the 2-0 skips in the dirt to Schliger. Well, we lost our chief meteorologist from last season, Colin Casey. He was on it. He was on the money.
Oh yeah.
And so Chris has headed up those duties this season, and, well, let's just say it's still an open audition for the job. The 3-0 pitch, that's going to find a way into the strike zone. It's a 3-1 count now to the batter and Schliger. Schliger so far here today got on with a single, grounded out to first to end the first inning in his second at-bat, and he was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning, and I think he just may have gotten hit by another pitch. He's having a conversation with the home plate umpire here. That would be the 8th time, and this is the 2nd time that the umpires are having to get together to confirm whether or not a batter was hit by a pitch. I think the only question here is whether or not it got the bat, but let's see here. Again, there have been 7 batters hit by Harwich Mariners pitching here this evening. That is a record for the Cape Cod Baseball League in the point streak era, which dates back as far as 2012. Previously had tied the record of 6 with the 6 they had. And you know what? If you're going to break the record, you might as well smash it. So we'll see in a moment here. And it looks like they are going to determine that he did not get hit by a pitch. So standing back in will be Luke Schliger, and the figure will stand at 7 for now in regards to hit batsmen. 3-2 count, nobody away. Zane Probst back out there. It's his 2nd full inning of work. Ran into some troubles last inning. Bases ended up being loaded with one away, but he struck out Fernando Gonzalez, and then Gunnar Goldsmith flew out to left field to end the inning. So he got out of it, but he will walk Schliger to open up this 5th inning on a pitch that misses just high, and so it's a leadoff walk for Schliger, and he is on now for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, just really been one of those days if you're the Harwich Mariners. I mean, really just can't get anything going. And I think the most frustrating part is it's a lot of unforced things. Like, there's only 6 hits that YD has for their 8 runs, but 7 batters been drilled, another handful of walks issued, and those are the things that really will frustrate a team.
As this ball's going to be hit up into the air, out into center field by Carrig, and Groover and Carrig run into one another. Or Groover and Teal run into one another as they both go to field the ball. They both seem to be all right, but the ball hops out of the glove of Teal as the two of them had run into one another, and it drops. So everybody's safe. That's the 2nd error. The error is actually going to be assessed to Kyle Teal in this case. And so, 2nd error of the ball game, and the Mariners just can't get out of their own way at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just been one of those nights. We're going to keep reiterating it, but what are you going to do if you're Harwich? You got to just move on tomorrow. You got 2 good starters going, and not saying this game's over, but it's not looking good. The odds are not in your favor.
As this ball's going to be skied up out of play on the 0-1. It's now 0-2. Lands in foul territory. And I mean, even still, yes, this game looking more and more so as though it's a lost cause. It's one thing after another that continues to go wrong here for the Mariners, but you can always start good habits at any given moment in time, and so Coach Englert's certainly going to try to make sure that his team is still out there performing to the best of their ability so long as this game is continuing along here. It is an 0-2 count to the batter in Mike Bovey. He'll hit this one on the ground, right side, 2 hops, right to Joe Vitrano. He'll field it, steps on the first base bag, and there's one away. That does advance Luke Schliger down to 3rd and Cole Carrig up to 2nd. And so Luke Franzoni will have 2 in scoring position as he steps in.
And a much-needed first out. But, yeah, I mean, Mariners just really struggling to have a clean inning. The least amount of batters they've faced is 4. That came back, or excuse me, they did face 3 batters in the 2nd, thanks to a double play that the batter Luke Franzoni hit into. But other than that, the lowest they faced is 6.
First pitch to the batter, and Franzoni is swung on and missed.
Yeah.
It's 0-1.
Franzoni walked and scored here tonight. He's grounded into a 5-4-3 double play and flied out to left. As he pops this one foul off to the right. Almost went in a trash can. That would have been something. And he's quickly down 0-2. Probst got a big strikeout last inning. The only strikeout he has thus far. He'd love to get another one. And the 0-2 delivery. In there! Franzoni is rung up. Probst sets him down, and there's 2 away here in the 5th. Johnny Long will climb in, trying to push his team into double-digit runs for the first time this season. Franzoni, a tough call, but Probst will take it. 2 down now. First pitch is swung on and missed by Johnny Long right down the heart of the plate.
It's a nice strikeout from Probst as you're now 1 out away from getting out of this inning. The 0-1 comes in. It's a swing and a miss by Long. Now an 0-2 count. Thank you, Devin, for taking over for a moment there. You got some dust that kicked up, found its way to the back of my throat. Had to take a quick swig of water. It's an 0-2 count here as Probst comes home. Misses inside. It's a 1-2 count now. Two away. Wind still kicking here at Red Wilson Field. Going out toward right field. Runners on second and third base. They are Kerrigan, Schliger, respectively. The pitch. That's going to miss high, and it's now 2-2.
Kerrig at second after reaching on the air, and Schliger over at third. Batter and Long trying to tack on some insurance.
Probst comes set and delivers. Hit on the ground, right back at Probst, catches him in the body. Goodwin fields it, throwing to first. Not in time. Coming home to score is going to be Luke Schliger. That one caught Probst right about the thigh, and then it started rolling over toward Goodwin. I mean, he would have been safe likely had it just passed Probst completely. Neither Corona nor Goodwin were shaded up the middle to try to stop anything that was going to come straight back at him. And so YD continues to capitalize here on their opportunities when they're getting runners on. They did leave them loaded last inning, but other than that, I mean, when you put up 9 runs, you can afford to leave them loaded one time or another. It's now going to be Johnny Long who comes up to bat, and he will send the first pitch he sees foul. And so, on to third base now is going to be Cole Kerrig. And again, it's Long on first as Schliger had come all the way home from third base. It's an 0-1 count as the pitcher, Probst, stares back at second. Now comes home. That'll get through Levens. Coming home from third now is Cole Kerrig, and that'll make it a double-digit ball game. 10-0. The YD Red Sox lead over the Harwich Mariners here in the bottom of the 5th inning in South Yarmouth.
And the error charge to Teal proves to do damage as the inning would have been over. 2 runs and counting here for YD. They still have a runner in scoring position for Caden Connor.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's going to miss up high, and it's a 2-1 count now. Probst holds on right about his waist, now pitches. That's sliced off foul, and the count moves to 2-2.
Coach Scott Pickler will probably be just 4 wins away from that magic number of 540 following tonight.
2-2 pitch, that'll skip in the dirt, making it 3-2. And yes, he is on his way, no doubt. Such an important figure. We talk a lot about, of course, the players that make it through the Cape Cod Baseball League and ultimately go on to play professionally, but oftentimes I feel it's underappreciated as this ball's hit on the ground right side. That's going to get through past the outstretched glove of the diving Danny Corona. Coming in to score all the way from second base is going to be Johnny Long. He's in as Caden Connor now is all the way up to second base. So that will make it 11-0 YD.
And, you know, you just got to accept that YD's hot. I mean, Harwich has been playing pretty bad today, but YD is hitting the ball. That's their 8th hit through just 4 2/3, so got to give credit in addition there. 2 errors and a handful of tickets that have been handed out have not helped Harwich, but
and they lead coming into today. They lead the Cape Cod Baseball League in hits, and that's only going to be expanded upon further. Their league lead in hits was 38, now is up to 46. But back to my point, as the 1-0 comes in and is in for a called strike, I feel oftentimes what's sort of forgotten about, perhaps not so much for the players, but when people think about the league as a whole, is the impact that these managers have on shaping these players while they are here. I mean, they will leave the Cape and they'll be entirely different ball players than they were when they first arrived. As the 1-1 comes in for a called strike, it's a 1-2 count, and such a huge part of that is the role that the managers play in guiding these players night in and night out for an entire summer or two as they are preparing to make that final step before going pro. As this one's going to be hammered right back. A line drive into center field. Play toward the plate. That'll be cut off and held onto by Levens as he holds on. But holding over at third is Caden Connor, as it is a 2-out single from Hunter Haas. So that is now the 5th Red Sox who has gotten on base. That's the 3rd straight hit. Johnny Long had a single, Caden Connor a double, Hunter Haas a single. And things continue to look bleak for the Mariners.
Cole Roberts will climb in to do the pitch hitting. Actually, the son of Dave Roberts, Red Sox legend and Dodgers manager.
First pitch into Gonzalez. Or pardon, no, Roberts, as you mentioned, is in for a called strike. Next pitch is going to be tipped back toward the umpire. And the count is 0-2.
Cole, a poli-sci major, 5'9", 165, similar frame to his father. Rising senior at LMU.
This ball is going to be hit right over toward us here in the press box. Were it not for this chain link fence right in front of us, our team writer Johnny Deppen might have been in some danger. It's an 0-2 count here to the batter in Roberts. This ball's going to be chopped in the infield left side, picked up by Lavari, pumps it on to first in time. That ends the inning, but the Red Sox scratch across 3 more. They make it 11-0 at the end of 5 innings. We'll be back with the top of the 6th in just a minute. You're watching the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back to Red Wilson Field. It's the top of the 6th inning. Tatum Levens leads it off here for the Harwich Mariners. He has come up to bat twice so far here today. Takes the first pitch out for a ride out towards center field, and that's going to be caught. 1 pitch, 1 out. We've heard that one before here today. Cole Carrig makes the catch, and this will bring up Kyle Teal.
Yeah, just under that one. Levens eager to be aggressive. He's a very competitive guy, not someone who is thrilled they're down 11-0. And just gets under that one. The long night continues for Harwich.
His first pitch into Kyle Teal is in for a called strike, and the count opens up at 0-1. Teal so far today, 0 for 2, as he'll take the next pitch. That'll miss for a ball.
Yeah, he's struck out swinging and grounded out to third base. Defensive changes. It looks like it's going to be Roberts over to third. They have an insane shift going on. 3 guys on the right side.
Ball's going to be hit foul down that right field line, and it's 1-2.
Or maybe Roberts is the shortstop now, and they got the third baseman over on that side. We'll get you more updates as we can.
1-2 count. Lions back out there. His 6th inning of work is able to get Teal to go down swinging. So that is now going to be strikeout number 5 on the day for Jared Lyons, who continues to just be excellent here for YD.
Yeah, he's been fantastic, but we got a lot of changes. So Goldsmith comes into shortstop, Roberts over to second, Franzoni into first, Hamner goes out to right, Wells is in center, Reed behind the plate, Schliger the only constant. He is in left.
My goodness. As this ball's going to be hit on a line into right field, that gets down. Brock Wilkin now 2 for 3 on the day.
Yeah, and great that he can get going. He hasn't had a hit coming into today. Gets 2 there. Maybe his confidence will get going in the middle of the order. But, yeah, I'm going to have to fill out a new lineup card because I believe they're putting in all the bench players now to get some reps. So, completely different defensive look.
It is just an entirely different team. As a conversation's going to be had here between Coach Englert and his batter in Joe Vitrano. Not too often you see this where they are actually having a conversation. Almost, it looks as though almost it were a conversation on the mound where the two of them converge. Coach Englert opted to use his meeting to have a chat with Vitrano, trying to make sure that Vitrano has his form right. Two of them talking a lot about Vitrano's swing pregame during BP. Vitrano did hit one over the fence and right during batting practice. Trying to find some of that magic here. He'll take a first pitch. Fastball, high, misses. It's 1-0. Jake Geloff stands on deck. Should Vitrano be able to reach? Here's the 1-0. Ball is sliced back foul, and it's 1-1. Devin, did you ever figure out what the 7th way to reach first base safely was?
Nope, but I'm not sure if we were on or off air when catcher's interference was announced that I figured out the 6th. The 7th, give me another out.
As it's a 1-1 count. That'll miss outside. It's 2-1.
It's driving me nuts.
Seemingly so. You seem to be on edge right now.
Literally, I'm on the edge of the seat, man.
2-1 count here to the batter in Vitrano. The pitch. That's going to miss outside, and it's 3-1.
It'll come to me. I'm just going to be patient. I've played baseball enough years where I should know this, but
3-1 pitch. That's in for a called strike. Vitrano watches that one sail into the glove of the catcher in Reed. And so it's now 3-2. And a defensive shift now here on for the Red Sox. As Goldsmith and Bovey have swapped positions. Bovey now over at third, at short, and Goldsmith over at third. Ball's going to be chopped foul over toward the YD dugout. And it's 3-2 to Vitrano, and he may need a new bat as he walks back to the dugout. He's looking for something here, hoping Kyle Teal can help him out. And he'll finally get a new piece of wood. And he'll do some work on it as he scuffs it up a bit, gets it ready to take in, and he will now step back into the batter's box. Boy, what a game this has been. 11-0 lead for the YD Red Sox in the top of the 6th inning. A 3-2 count here with 2 away to the batter in Joe Vitrano. Just 4 hits for Harwich. Half of them have come off the bat of Brock Wilkin. 2 errors defensively as well. A lot has gone wrong for the Mariners. Wilkin goes for second, and that's going to be called strike 3. Down goes Vitrano, and the Mariners again leave runners on. We head now to the bottom of the 6th inning, where YD will come up to bat once again. We'll be back with more Harwich Mariners baseball. You're watching the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back to Red Wilson Field. Tim Foley, Devin Dobick along with you. It's the bottom of the 6th inning, and the day is done for Zane Probst. He came in and he pitched 2 innings. Probst did. Did come in and pitch the 2 innings. As the first batter up here for the YD Red Sox is going to be Gunnar Goldsmith. Goldsmith on the day. He is 0 for 2. Or 0 for 3 rather. Reached on a fielder's choice, grounded out to second, and flew out to left field. The first pitch is going to miss for a ball, and it's going to get back to the backstop, and immediately a conversation between Conover and Levens spawns.
Goldsmith, the only batter not to reach successfully. He did have a fielder's choice in which he got on, but it did come at the expense of an out. The only hitter to get on, rather, without hurting his team.
As the 1-0 pitch is going to be hit on the ground right side. That'll be underhanded by Corona right onto first, and there is 1 away. Right in time to retire Goldsmith. Second time he's grounded out to second base. So the final line for Zane Probst looked like this. He pitched 2 complete innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, none of which were earned because there was an error in center field, and then 2 straight outs recorded thereafter, which in theory would have ended the inning. So none of those 3 runs were earned. walked 2 batters and struck out 2 batters. As the first pitch into the very next batter here for YD in Luke Schliger is going to miss for a ball. It's 1-0.
5th time he's been up, and we're through just 5 1/3.
Ball chopped on the ground, right side again to Corona, and again another underhand flip onto first, and again an out recorded. 4-3 for the second straight at bat for the Red Sox. Down they go. As Simon Reed comes up to bat right now, pinch hitting here for Cole Carrig. Carrig on the day had reached 3 times. This ball's going to be chopped on the ground over to second base, thrown to first. In time, Danny Corona able to rip it over to first base. 3 putouts on ground outs over to second base. Corona a busy inning, but a solid one defensively for the Mariners. The best defensive inning that they have had all day long. As we head now into the top of the 7th, we'll be back with more Harwich Mariners baseball on the other side. You're watching the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back to Red Wilson Field. Tim Foley and Devin Dobick along with you for play-by-play duties the rest of the way, however long that may be at this point in time. My play-by-play broadcast partner and colleague, Devin Dobick. Devin.
Thank you, Tim. Jake Geloff will climb in, fouls that first one off the mask of Reed. A little hazing into this ball game for him. Came in defensively last inning, and now he takes one off the mask. It's 0-1.
And the umpires were having a lengthy conversation prior to the beginning of this inning with both Scott Pickler and Steve Engler as the 0-1's in for a called strike about whether or not to continue this game. So we'll see for just how much longer we continue things here. But if you're Harwich, the time is now. You're down by 11. You have to get something going. Even if with the amount of time that's left here today, you may not be able to come back, you still need to develop positive habits here. Down by 11 on a day where a lot has been going wrong for your team.
1-2, Ivran Romero, the new wing, a right-handed pitcher from the University of San Diego. His count is evened up at 2. A finance and real estate major, 5'10", 200 pounds, a native of San Diego as well. Had a 2.53 ERA in his sophomore season. He loads up the count here. Led the team with 21 appearances out of the bullpen, or excuse me,
third most on the team. 43 strikeouts to just 13 walks. Gino Gruber the third on deck as Geloff is rung up. That one looked a little low from here, but a home plate umpire disagrees and sends Geloff packing. There's one away.
Yeah, he thought he had it, started to trot down toward first, but it just caught the strike zone, and the woes continue for the Mariners at the plate. Only 4 different Mariners have managed to get on base today.
Gino, one of them. He does have a hit today. Was stranded at third, though. Mariners have stranded a couple guys on third. Still scoreless here, and it's 1-0 from Romero. This one is punched foul. It's 1-1. Romero had a 4-4 record and 3 saves. Whip just over 1. And the 1-1 is down low for a ball. Kenny Lavari on deck. He also has a hit here tonight. The 2-1. Gino grounds this one over to the shortstop. It's going to be a close play at first base, but the throw is in time. A nice turn that time by Goldsmith, and there's 2 away.
YD has looked very solid defensively all night long. And Harwich, once again, struggling to get balls into the outfield. Really have not seen much go very deep into the ballpark here today. Not really taking advantage of the fact that this is one of the smaller parks in the league. Again, we've mentioned it, I think, earlier, 352 to dead center. Plays a bit long down the line, but still, by and large, a small ballpark here at YD.
And we've yet to see any of YD's 11 runs be by way of the home run, which is insane to think about considering they only have 9 hits. That kind of tells the story all right there. Count is 1-1 to Lavari. And the pitch. Down at the toes, and it's 2-1. Danny Corona on deck. He had a busy half inning back in the 6th. Had 3 putouts, so he's been solid defensively. 2-1 is grounded foul to the backstop, and it's 2-2 here with 2 outs. And Romero delivers. This one is chopped over to second base, fielded by Roberts. He fires on to first, score that one a 4-3 putout, and that retires the side. We get an indication from the umpire of a thumbs up. Not sure what that will mean. We'll keep it here for just a moment. I believe they are indicating that they are calling the ball game as Coach Englert walks out of the dugout, and that will just about do it. 11-0 the final here. They're going to call it because it's so dark, I believe. 11-0, as I just mentioned. Red Sox take this one, their second win of the season, second consecutive loss for the Mariners. They will have 4 more matchups on the season. Don't go anywhere. We'll get a quick post-game breakdown right here on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network on the other side of the break. Welcome back into the Harwich Mariners post-game show. The final here, 11-0. Red Sox take this one on their home turf. They had 11 runs on 9 hits and no errors. As for Harwich, they have no runs on 4 hits and 2 errors. A tough one for them. Jared Lyons picks up the win. Noah Dean is handed his first loss of the season. Tim, just an abysmal game for the Mariners, but takeaways from this one.
Not a lot, really, you can pull away from this one. 2 errors on the game. That's the most you've had in a game all season. Of course, we've talked about the pitching all game long and how difficult it was for Harwich to deal with this YD pitching, as well as for Harwich to get it settled on the mound. And then Harwich's hitting. Just, again, another night similar to last night where they just couldn't get it going whatsoever. 3 hits last night, 4 hits here tonight. Just every phase of the game was brutal here today for the Mariners, and all you can do is just lick your wounds and get ready for a long day of baseball tomorrow. 7-inning opener against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and then you close it out with a 9-inning nightcap. So a very long day tomorrow. You need to have a short memory, forget this one, and remember that you can make up for this one and then some tomorrow.
Yeah, not much more to be said here. It'll be Herman Fajardo pitching in Game 1 and Jonathan Santucci in Game 2. If you stuck with us this entire time, we really appreciate your support. At least you witnessed a little history. Mariners drill 7 batters, and if you scale that to 9 innings, you could even argue more. A tough one at that, but Coach Scott Pickler is 4 wins away from being the winningest coach. But with that being said, that wraps up our broadcast. On behalf of all of our media team, my partner Tim Foley, my name is Devin Dobek, and always remember to live the dream.